again, the surprising thing was the presents were also missing. We didn't expect the presents to get lost. The night of Christmas, that eve, there were no presents, no Christmas. This took away my Christmas. Children are all sad, and there was no Christmas this time. And the Grinch, yes, the Grinch, I see you. Why are you even here? I didn't want to invite you.
What?
You're the one who did this.
It's a funeral. You don't invite people to a funeral.
I'm pretty sure it was you. You murdered my husband. You are the one who always wanted to take away Christmas from this world.
Look, lady, you're out of line. I understand you lost your husband, and yes, it's a joyful occasion for me, but I was being nice. I even stayed silent, and I switched off my video because I didn't want to show my face. But apparently, that's still not enough to make me the good guy. So why are you accusing me? There's plenty of other people here for you to accuse, but no, it's the Grinch. It's always the Grinch. It's the Grinch who hates Christmas.
You're the only one who hates Christmas.
Why don't we ask? Hold on. Why don't we ask that creepy murderer dude who's here with a mask?
Oh, it's me, isn't it? Well, I know I'm a psycho serial killer, but even I wouldn't kill Santa, dude. I got some standards.
Wait, so what are you doing at his funeral then?
I came to pay my respects. I'll also be counting your R's, filler words, repetitive words when I'm killing you. I mean, when you're giving a speech.
Yeah, you sound sus. He sounds more sus than me.
Wait. I still think it's the Grinch. I still think it's you. You are the one who did this.
Of course you do. Okay, fine. Then let's ask someone who worked closely with him. Rudolph, I remember an incident with a red nose. What do you have to say for yourself?
Me? I'm devastated. Santa was like...
Yeah, you look devastated.
Santa was like my only friend. And now it's gone.
Now see,
Gone.
the Grinch.
Okay.
Look what you did. You just made Rudolph unhappy. Rudolph is a nice guy. We all know that. You're just spreading Grinchness everywhere.
It's nothing.
Anyways, as a way of like coping up, I'll be giving you guys the word of the day, and it's exuberant, and that means full of energy, excitement, and cheerfulness.
Yeah, I can sense your devastation from here. Thanks.
Supposed to be
We
ironic.
are running out of time. Don't you people even look at the agenda? Thank God I'm here to keep track of the time. So, for the eulogies you have prepared for Santa today, for the table topics, you will be getting 2 minutes. And the white rabbit, that is I, has 3 timer cards for you. The green card, the orange card, and the red card. So for the table topics, I will be showing the green card at 1 minute. At 1.5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. For prepared speeches, you will be getting 5 to 7 minutes. For 5 minutes, I will be showing the green card. For 6 minutes, I'll be showing the orange card. And for 7 minutes, I will be showing the red card.
I thought it was a funeral.
The rabbit is
Funeral has eulogy.
Let's keep this funeral going. As the funeral manager, I'll be overlooking at the entire meeting and give an evaluation at the end.
Hey, I know I'm just dropping in out of nowhere, but I have some questions to ask. Like, can I meet Santa? I've always wanted to meet him since I was such a little boy, and I never got my present. So could someone point me to the direction of the manager of Santa? I would like to meet him.
Santa?
Hello, Internet Explorer.
Who are you?
Huh?
How dare you? My husband is murdered and you have to avenge his death. That is why you are here.
Murdered? Murdered, you say?
Yes.
Well, this sounds like a mystery. Well, there's only one person that can solve this. Someone who has a lot of guts, a lot of will, a lot of passion, a lot of things. He's rich, he's got a lot of stuff. And this person is, of course, me, the one and only glorious detective. And I'm running out of words to describe myself.
Shut it,
So don't
Sherlock
worry.
Holmes. You're not even close to Sherlock Holmes.
Stay in your lane, assistant.
Nah,
Mrs. Claus, I will take
Just-
this case, and I will
Who
solve this
are
for all the
these
problems
clowns?
that Santa has. Just stay in your lane, Grinch. Now, first of all, Mrs. Claus, do you know what time Santa died?
How can
It's
I?
funny. It's funny that you cry exactly when I ask the question, but sure, go ahead.
I was crying all this time. You are just making me even sadder because I don't want to remember the time he died.
I know this must be hard on you, but try to remember. This is very important.
Well, let me think. I think it was 24th midnight when we were about to deliver the presents to these little kids around the world. We couldn't find Santa, and then we just sent a search party. And then we found him collapsed on the road. And then yes, that is what I remember.
I see.
Wow.
I see. And is there someone you suspect of killing Santa?
Yes, the Grinch is here. He's the one who did
It's
it.
not
The
me.
Grinch? The Grinch is here?
Yes,
What
he
the
is.
hell?
Oh, shut up.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be in some
Attending the funeral? What do you mean, what am I doing here? What are you
Santa's
doing here?
funeral? You're like someone who would never attend this.
This is a
Either
joyful
way-
moment of celebration for me, okay? I am going to
Either
attend
way-
Santa's funeral.
That's enough
Yeah,
proof,
if- My God, you ladies are like cat ladies. You guys don't stop fighting, do you? It's like you have some deep-seated anger that you need therapy to solve, but it's all right. I'll take care of that all as well. Now, first of all, can someone bring me the autopsy report? My little assistant, where is he? Where are you?
Sup? I was eating, man. The buffet is great.
Why? How do you have buffet in a funeral?
I don't know.
What kind of
man.
funeral is this?
This is, I
Okay,
don't know,
it's fine.
North
Just
Form.
bring me the autopsy report. Just bring me the autopsy report. Till then, why don't we
it's a-
all take a few minutes to remember Santa? Okay? You go do that. I'll go do this. So, since there are many people at this funeral, let's give each one 20 seconds. Where's that bunny rabbit? Bunny rabbit. Bunny girl. Where are
Yes,
you?
the bunny is
Rabbit.
here.
Oh, good. 20 seconds for everyone. Are you
Yes,
ready?
I will be showing the red card at the end of 20 seconds.
Okay, we'll start with me since I am, of course, the first in everything. As I am the greatest.
Oh, man.
So, I used to be a reporter, but unfortunately, I got kicked out of my job because of my stupid assistant and
Really?
my stupid boss that got me fired. And then my car got totaled, my wife left, my kids went to live with their mother, and my life has been a total wreck. But Santa was the one who saved me, and that's why I always love Santa. Man, he was such a good person. Next. So we'll go with the alphabetical order. The first one to go would be Abin. I can't pronounce your name. Arkot, someone?
Hello.
Abin.
So I am Abhigna Arcot. That's how you pronounce it. That's okay. That's
Thank you.
very common with me, and that's fine. Hello. I am from IIT Toastmasters, and I've been actually following you guys over Instagram. And I was waiting for a reply from you guys for an invite to your meeting. And finally, I'm here, and I'm loving it already. Hopefully, I'll have an amazing meeting again. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Abhinath Murali. I can't pronounce you. I sincerely apologize for everyone whose name I get wrong. Abitan. Are you here? Abitan Muralitaran?
Maybe
Abitan.
he's dead as well.
Abitan.
No, man.
We can't
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you.
Okay, all right. We'll skip you for now. We'll come back to you later. Adib.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Speak about Santa. 20 seconds.
Speak about Santa. First of all, deepest respects and rest in peace, dear Santa Claus. And I have to say, this is an exuberant funeral. I mean, so much excitement with the Grinch here, having for once come out of his house for a joyous occasion. I mean, it's joyous for him since he's the Grinch after all, but I suppose not joyous for Mrs. Claus. Though, to be honest, I kind of feel suspicious about Mrs. Claus. I mean, she
How dare
was
you?
the one who was the most from the position. She'll get all the fame, the position, the money, and everything. So, yes. And my time's up.
Right. And next we have Amar.
Yes, if I can add to what Adib said, I too suspect Mrs. Claus. I can see that she is crying, but not actually crying. She is giving some sort of exuberance, if I could say. The Grinch is just trying to pay her respects, is what I feel. Anyways, we shall move and see how this exuberant meeting will come into play.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next we will go with Asiri.
Hi. So, Christmas is usually an exuberant time of the year, but I remember one that wasn't. It was the Christmas of 2004. My Christmas present came 4 days late, and it was my baby sister. And that was the day I stopped getting 100% of my parents' attention. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Santa Claus. I won't say I'm glad you're dead, but
You just
All right.
did.
Next yeah, you just did. You're sus. Next we have Kausi. Kausi, what is it?
Yeah. What was the last word? Dead? Is it
No,
dead?
you don't need to start from the last one. You can just speak about Santa.
Okay, come on. Yeah. So basically, I don't know much about Christmas and stuff, but like I used to have friends who celebrate Christmas. That's how I know about Christmas, and like I know, like since I'm in Koi, I used to know these words: Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, those things. So basically, I have a plain idea on what to do in Christmas, but I don't know what is Christmas. That's all about me.
Right. Thank you. And next we have Chamon, the Rudolph. That's Rudolph.
Yeah, it's me. I'm Rudolph. Can I have the last word, please?
You
you
can
don't need
start from India.
Okay. So Santa and I were total bros. We used to go out delivering like presents. So like whenever he had like marital problems, he used to tell me all of those things. And he listened to Eminem. I didn't get it, but he wanted me to play Eminem while delivering presents. So I was like, okay, Santa, here's Eminem. And he was really political. You guys didn't know that too. So, but he was a cool dude. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Next, Chaitanya.
Well, first of all, I would like to express my deepest condolences to Mrs. Claus on the loss of Santa. Santa was a great man, great person. Because like, he used to come for Christmas every time, but this time couldn't go any bad because we have the pandemic, and now Santa is also not there, and now we don't have any presents. But Mrs. Claus, one thing for you: please don't suspect Grinch all the time. Because Grinch is one of my favorites.
Oh, wow. We have quite the view here. All right. Next, we have Christina.
So my parents told me very early on that Santa is just a marketing gimmick and that he does not exist. And by very early on, I've been like 3 years old. So I am here today. I'm surrounded by Frosty and Rudolph and the Easter Bunny, and I am more than confused. I do have my time's up.
You're also surrounded by the absolute best detective in the world, but we'll leave that on the side. Next, we have the masked serial killer. Where the hell are you? And why are you masked?
Okay, so guys, since you didn't know about the dark side of Santa, he used to sell kids off the dark web, and he used to tell me how it was so exciting for him and how he loved it. Well, there's that. Now, since you know all of this, he is a dumbass. There you go. And I don't think my time's up. So,
Yes, and next we have our very own funeral director. Why don't you speak a few words about Santa?
Santa has always bringing me my gifts, and I always have loved Santa for that. Once a year, you get a gift, even from a person who do not know that I exist as in person, but gets gifts for everyone in this world. I also suspect Rudolph for this murder because he seems to go through so much of torture that he has the motive to kill Santa. Greenwich been saying that it's not him, and I think he has a point there.
All right, next we have Gibran. Gibby?
Okay. Interestingly enough, being an elf at a workshop is really not a great thing. It's more like a sweatshop experience. And Mrs. Claus, where's my due check? I've been working my ass off this entire month and I didn't get paid yet. So where is my money?
I'll get back to
Hello?
that. I'll
That's
get back to that in
cool,
a minute.
man. This
After
one
the
has a
funeral.
motive.
That's
cold.
sus.
All right,
Yeah,
next
kinda
we have
sus.
the anime girl. Haritha, where are you? Come out. I want to see.
Hello. Hello.
Anime girl?
Hi. How is everyone doing today? I mean, hi. How is everyone doing today? Is everyone doing good? I hope you guys love Santa because he really liked big hugs. He liked warm hugs too. I used to hug him every time I saw him, but then he died. I remember talking to him a few days ago and oh, sorry. He was coughing. Yeah, you should probably keep like a meter distance from everyone. It's best for everyone.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Jay.
Yes, maybe he might have had corona. Who knows? And but my prime suspect is Mrs. Claus. I have a feeling you are the person who murdered your husband because you're the one who drains the most than anyone else. And I don't see your tears anymore. You have no tears anymore. See,
Ooh, snap.
the sudden tears.
Quite the accusation. What proof do you have? But we'll leave that proof on for
Unfortunately,
another
my
side.
time is up.
We'll leave
so
that
I
proof on for
couldn't,
another
share
side.
the details.
Now we have my trusty sidekick Robin. Where are you, Robin?
Hey, what? Anyhow,
Speak a few words about Santa.
what? Who died? Santa who? Alrighty then. I don't know the dude myself. I don't know. I never received any gifts any sort. Claiming it was from Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus, right? And I think I don't feel anything for him, but I'm here to investigate the dude. It's a homicide, anyways.
You're not here to investigate the dude. I'm here to investigate the dude. You're here helping me investigate the dude that died today. And it's Santa Claus, yes.
But it's
Now
still,
let's move on.
yeah.
Let's move on. Now we have Mahesh. If you're here, just speak a few words about Santa. Are you here, Mahesh? Okay, we'll come back to you later. Let's go with Mike then. Mike?
Yes, so Mrs. Claus was like, found some pink clothes alone and was looking for something, and he was like, everybody getting something. You didn't watch the SNS skit? Jay, you watched it? Help me out, man. Anyways, Christmas has been usual, actually. And I'm also sorry for your loss, Mrs. Claus.
All right, and now let's hear from the woman of the hour, Mrs. Claus. And don't forget the tears, miss.
First of all, I would like to tell you, all those who are accusing me for killing my beloved husband, he was my only true love. You know what? It's not like all of you can find your true love. like within a day. Like some people don't even find their true love these days, but I was so lucky to find him, and he was my soulmate, my best friend, my everything. How can I live without him? I mean, I didn't even expect to become a widow at such a young age. Who's gonna take care of me?
Oh
You guys?
God.
No, you don't understand my pain. My heart is broken. I might even die of this. You guys don't understand
I
this.
see. Okay, Mrs.
I
Claus.
thought
Let's save
Santa
it
was
for the
old,
rest.
man.
Yeah, let's save it for the rest of the funeral. And also, are you like Anna or something? Because you got married in one day. You just married someone you just met.
This is like a
What the
Disney
hell?
couple, man.
I thought you were
Yeah,
doing eulogies, not personal attack.
I'm doing something else. Anyway, let's move on. We have Muiz next. Muiz, speak a few words about Santa. Muiz.
Blanta, bro.
Is Muiz dead?
Probably.
Okay, we'll move on for now. Chantel, if you're here, speak a few words about Santa. It's Rambo.
Okay, hi, I'm back. Oh, so Santa, I don't know why anyone would try to kill such a happy old man, but I think he was great, and I feel like the murderer may pay big time, especially with the little kids. I think they're the biggest revenge seekers. So, good luck.
All right. And now we'll hear from the prime suspect, the Grinch.
I am
All
not
yours, Grinch.
the prime suspect, but hold on. I just fixed my connection and I can actually switch on video and traumatize you all.
Oh no.
No.
What?
Okay,
Monstrosity.
I am not the prime suspect here. The prime suspect, as many of you rightfully pointed out, is Mrs. Claus, because I am pretty sure she's faking all her tears. I mean, I was trying not to die from all that cringe. Or maybe we should be looking at the masked murderer.
Already dead.
Thank you, Mrs. Shrek. We'll come back to you. Next, we have the bunny girl. That's the rabbit. Bunny.
First off, Christina actually thought I was the Easter Bunny, and I should make a small correction. I'm actually the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. So the thing is, we are from two different universes, so I don't know Santa much. But I really have to tell y'all, you should stop suspecting Mrs. Claus like this. This is so sad. You should stop. And yeah, that's my time.
All right. So is it back to me again? Good.
Oh no.
Well, that was quite revealing because all of you thought you were talking about Santa. But what was actually happening was I was out here looking for who has the biggest secrets, the motives and the opportunity to murder Santa Claus. I thought someone would like object to me there, but okay. No one? Okay. Anyway.
No, we already think you're stupid.
That's pretty dumb. You should leave like the whole mass revealing of your plan towards the end after you actually find out who Santa is.
Wait, what? Why would I do that? I already know who the killer is.
If you know why.
So who's the killer?
Okay, I will tell you, my dear Watson, whichever one of you is Watson. I have found the killer, and the killer, as you would not believe, is Mrs. Claus.
No.
For the insurance money.
Wait.
That's
Everyone knows Santa has insurance money. I just killed him for that insurance money.
You're not married, you wouldn't get the money.
Why would
Technicality.
I kill my husband? He's the one I've shared an eternity with. And you think I kill him for some insurance money? Money means nothing for me.
How could you say that? That's just mean.
Wait, who are you again?
Oh, hi, I'm Olaf. I like warm hugs.
I thought you were Brolof.
Oh, I thought you were Frosty.
Brolof, my cousin. I don't know what you're talking about. Brolof, my cousin. My name's Olaf.
Let me
You look
interrupt
like-
you.
Hi.
Yeah. Santa is an immortal being, and we don't have life insurance. And we would prefer if the elves don't find out that, because we don't want to pay employee benefits. Okay, or let them know.
Forget I said anything. Back to the drawing board. Watson, to the Batmobile.
Okay, this detective is good for nothing. I don't know why I even asked him to do this mission. Anyways, next we have some elves from our workshop who has come to pay their last respects.
Slavery. Unpaid labor.
You need a cough drop or something?
What is
Clearly,
happening?
sarcasm is too advanced for you, you clown.
You're coughing in the middle of a pandemic. That's some shitty sarcasm if it's sarcasm.
Well, idiot.
Time
Do
you'll
you
leave and start your mission to find who the killer is. Until then, I will be moving on to the prepared speeches. And let's begin with the elves who have come here. I'm so happy that there are some of the elves who have turned up to pay their last respects. Let me start with our elf who has been working with us for a long time, Toastmaster Chantal. She'll be doing her icebreaker today, and she'll be evaluated by Toastmaster. Oh no, it's the Grinch! Grinch, you'll be evaluating
What?
my elf.
Why would I evaluate your elf? Do you think I have nothing better to do with my time?
That's actually my doing. I wanted to see how you would react and stuff. So just do the evaluation. If all goes well, you'll be cleared of suspicion. Isn't that what you want?
No, everyone suspects me anyway, but fine. Okay. Toastmaster Elf Chantal, you are doing your icebreaker. The purpose of your funeral project is for you to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. This is a very odd occasion for you to practice this, but best of luck. So, Toastmaster Elf Toastmaster Chantal, I'm not quite sure how to say this. Why did someone put me as the evaluator? Anyway, Toastmaster
Is that the
Chantal.
topic?
Shut up, Chantal. Shut up, Chantal. Toastmaster Chantal.
Thank you, Grinch, for having the tolerance to say my name 4 times. As an elf, I'll be nice to you. So, I've heard it's always better to introduce yourself with a smile. So don't mind me grinning like a Cheshire cat the entire time, because that's just how I shake my nerves off. Good evening, my fellow elves and Mrs. Claus and everyone in the Christmas party. When I found out I had to deliver a speech about myself, I didn't exactly know where to start and what I could share. And so this is my take on who I think I am right now and just me figuring my life out. If you ask my friends or family to describe me, they'd say 3 things. I'm loud, always restless or exuberant, and I'm an absolute weirdo. That's the 3rd thing. So all this behavior in general kind of warrants the phrase, shut up, Chantal. So let's start from the beginning, right? I come from a family of 4, my mom, my dad, and my older sister. And from what I was told, as a baby, all I did was sleep. And I was possibly like the easiest baby to look after. That's what they thought. Then after that, from since I can remember, I have never not been talking. I always have something to say about everything. And usually, in most cases, it would get me into quite a lot of trouble, especially during my schooling years. I had 3 principals, and I would practically be in their offices most of the time. I think I got to know my principals quite well, and likewise. So because I love to talk so much, my parents decided, let's put her in an acting class. So let her try out drama, speech and drama. And also maybe the fact that I had the nickname of drama queen would have contributed to that as well. So that's how I began my debut in my acting career, I would say. I was around 4 and I was a mermaid in Peter Pan. I wouldn't necessarily call that bit acting because all I did was walk around a circle and just swim. But I mean, that's how it started. And
afterwards, I think I did Sound of Music. I was Gretel. So if I ever hear The Hills Are Alive or Edelweiss, you might see me covering my ears and running a mile away, because there's only so many times that you can listen or sing a certain song. But anyway, so acting is something I've done for quite a while in my life. And it's probably the cause as to why people think I'm really loud. Because in my mind, I'm probably projecting to a large audience, where in reality, my mother is just, not my mother, sorry, I'm just asking my mother what's for dinner. Yeah, so my loudness warrants quite a few "shut up, Chantals." But as loud as I can be sometimes, there are those rare times that I can be quiet. Usually when it's reading a book or in the jungle or reading a book in the jungle. Okay, now you must be wondering why I randomly mentioned the jungle. I mean, we absolutely love it. And not your typical, okay, let's go and stay in a hotel for like 3 days and relax. No, you are woken up quite suddenly at 4 in the morning in your pajamas, and you drowsily get into the vehicle and you just drive. And usually that drive would end up in like Yala or Virupattu. So I probably spent quite a number of birthdays, New Years, and even skipped a few of my exams, staying in a bungalow inside the park, surrounded by bugs, frogs, geckos, sometimes a rat or two. But don't worry, there were also trees, lakes, and wildlife, which is probably why we keep going back there. So anyway, going to the wildlife so often has provided me great moments, like the time where we camped near crocodiles. Don't worry, we moved the tent, and doing my homework on a rock by a waterfall. I think I did that quite a few times, and also did it. So when you're surrounded by all this wildlife and nature, you can guess why people consider me restless. I mean, I always have the urge to just climb a rock or go hiking up some unknown mountain and get lost and run around screaming with my hands up in the air. Yeah, that last one got a few "shut up, Chantals." You can imagine. So I guess from the few stories that I've shared, at least the ones that I can share publicly, you can understand why people may consider me a slight or maybe absolute weirdo. But I'm not always like this, don't worry. It's just that I know what life can be if you stress about like little things versus if you just take it day by day and just chill out a little bit. And so I usually go by this quote where it says, enjoy life today. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow may never come. I mean, that mentality may change as I get older. I'm still 20 and I still haven't figured my life out. I mean, that's okay, right? But for now, me enjoying my life, maybe reading a book or going on a random impromptu road trip, or even sneaking a huge jar of peanut butter with a tablespoon and an apple into a cinema because I decided to go vegan for 6 months. Yeah, okay, Chantal, shut up now. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chantal, for that wonderful, wonderful speech. You are a real natural speaker, and that was so impressive. And wait, this is not a time to smile. Your road trips reminded me of the first time we went. My Santa and we went on a road trip too after we got married that week. That reminded me of that. I'm so sad. Never mind, we'll move on to the next speech. This next speech will be by Toastmaster Kaushi Deeshan, another elf who has been working with us in our workshop. So let's hear from him, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Christina. Over to you, Toastmaster Christina.
Thank you, Mrs. Claus. Okay, Kausidation, can you please pronounce your name to me properly before we go ahead?
Sure. It's Kaushi Deeshan. Call me Kaushi, that's enough.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Toastmaster Kausit, you will be doing your icebreaker today, which is your very first speech at Toastmasters. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. So basically, take this time to help the other members of the club get to know you well. And also, good luck to you. Timer, the time of the speech is 4 to 6 minutes. Okay, so are you ready? Kausit?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Can I start?
Hold on a minute. I'll introduce you now. Toastmaster Kausit, about me. About me, Toastmaster Kausit.
I took a bitter gourd and tasted. It tasted bitter. Whereas I took deep fried French fries and tasted, it tasted the same. So does that mean the components in the bitter gourd is same as the deep fried French fries? Dear Toastmasters, good evening to all of you. So today it's all about me. Just to drag you like 20 years before that. Imagine that you're like before you go 20 years from now. So basically you are in 2000 and you are on a particular day in like November 17 in a hospital, government hospital. So just imagine yourself that you are surrounded by doctors waiting for a delivery from a pregnant lady. So basically the doctors will be expecting like the head to come first and the body to come rest. Yeah. So in that case, what happened was the baby was inverted. So after so long period of time, the baby came out. So the baby is none other than anyone. It's Kaushi. So I wanted to like classify my speech into 4 chapters of mine. First is my family. Second one, my education. Third one, extras, and finally my favorites. So basically, starting off with my family, I'm the middle one in my family. I have a elder brother and a younger sister. The coolest thing about getting in the middle is you can like get beaten by the eldest one, and you can complain it to your parents, whereas they like scold them and like sometimes even beaten them. You can enjoy that, as well as you can even beat your youngest and enjoy yourselves. That's the coolest thing about the middle one's position. And if I have to like elaborate about like my family, it consists of like 50 plus members, a small family, 50 plus members. So on my side of my father's father, he had 8 children, to be said particularly like 4 guys and 4 girls. So a particular thing I used to ask my grandmother was like, my father was the 4th one, and after my father there were 2 sitas. So one were born in 1953 August, whereas the another one born in 1954 August. So it was just like not even a completed year. So I used to ask this grandmother, how come it possible to like get a baby with not even completed year? So how did you do that? So I used to ask this weird question from my grandmother, not anyone else, my grandmother who took out that babies. Okay, so I know that it's a weird question, but she never replied to me. But she gives a like small smile, whereas I understand everything. And on my side of my mother, it's just 4 children, whereas my mother was the second. So both of them got married, and finally Kaushi came. So my full name is Kaushi Dishan Krishnamurthy. That's a weird name, I know, but it consists of 4 parts: Kaushi Dishan Krishnamurthy. In that certain name, what's weird, most weird is that Dishan. So most of them think that I'm from the generation of like Devanambiyatisa. No, nothing. There's no OWP concepts or nothing like that. I'm just Kaushidishan Krishnamurthy. It's just the fun of my parents in keeping my name. That's it. So that's all of my like about my family. Next, I want to go in the chapter of education. So I started my education going to the Montessori ACA. I don't know how many of you know about that institute, but it's quite popular. But now it's older. But what I love about that Montessori is, although you compete in a competition or not, they give you prizes. That's the most like attractive thing of the ACA Montessori. Then I started off my grade ones into college Bambalapitiya and finished my scholarship and went to St. Benedict's College and started up in English medium, knowing some couple of English words and no singular words at all. So that was the weirdest thing of my education. Then I finished my O levels, A levels in the same school. Then I started off. Since I didn't like get the expected results from my A levels, I wanted to go in the second choice, that is the field of IT. So I joined Informatics Institute of Technology, and I joined in the club of Toastmasters, and I'm like talking in front of you all now. Yeah, that's a cool thing. And the third chapter, favorites. In the favorites, I just want to like clarify two things. My favorite food and drink. The food is gyros made by my mother randomly, and the favorite drink is chocolate milkshake. That's it. So finally, my extras. So my extracurricular activities always like started after my O levels, whereas like I thought that I am too studious, I should come over that. So I start off extracurricular activities, whereas I joined 14 clubs. I was involved in the 14 clubs, and like I was like taking up almost 10 clubs positions, whereas I lost certain several studies of myself. Since I took biology as my stream, it's too hard for you guys to like get survive in your family, whereas you go for extracurricular activities and you study. That's a like weird story of my like biology stream. So basically, that's all about my life and the four chapters. Finally, I wanted to conclude my speech like this. It could be the bitter taste from a bitter gourd, or else a deep fried french fries. It could be the expectation, or else the life changes that results in the bitter. But what is mostly expected is the taste that was like demanded by the world. That is the bitter taste demanded by the world. So if you have the opportunities, grab it and become the successful person in the world. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kausidishan, for that wonderful speech. That was very impressive, and we all enjoyed it a lot. And yes, well, when you were talking about how you were born in the hospital, that also reminded me of the day our children were born, and then Santa was also there. He would have been really happy to see our children being in this position today, but our children also misses him a lot. Anyways, we'll move on to our next speech. Another elf, Toastmaster Sharika, will be doing her level 1 project 2, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Gibran. Over to you, Toastmaster Gibran.
Mrs. Claus, before I start introducing my speaker, I just need to tell you one thing. Once this funeral is over, I expect to be paid or I'm suing.
Okay, we'll talk about that after
Do
the
you need a
video.
lawyer by any chance? I know a good lawyer.
Sure thing. Sign me up to any lawyer. I don't mind. Okay, this is to an elf. Toastmaster Sharika. This is your level 1 project 2. And the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The time limit for this project is between 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Sharika, do you have any clarifications for your project?
Okay.
Okay, with that, I will introduce you. Toastmaster Sharika, leadership behind the curtains. Leadership behind the curtains. Toastmaster Sharika.
Leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. Dwight Eisenhower. Oh, that's what he thinks leadership is. But what in the case of those who do not want to do it? Oh, well, hello, fellow humans. Today, I shall reveal to you everything you need to know, and some of which you are better off not knowing about leadership. Starting off, what exactly is leadership? To me, it is the ability to hide your panic from others. But the definition known amongst many others is that leadership is the action of leading a group of people, or simply put, the position of a leader, someone with the capacity to lead, obviously. Anyway, fellow humans, please do keep your ears wide open, for I shall keep transitioning between the topic of leadership in general and my own experience in the software development project module we are being forced to work on in our second year at college. So this is what I have to say about being a leader. A great leader must be able to bring a team together to reach a common goal through the process of applying skills and behaviors to create a solid group relationship for any given situation. When it comes to teamwork, establishing a common goal seems to be the easiest part, given that you are assigned one by whoever is managing the company you're working on or the instructor of the course you are following. And in our case, we came up with our own idea to work on, which is, I assure you,
not an easy thing to do, especially when your fellow teammates cannot think for themselves even if their lives depended on it. Let me reminisce on some of my not very pleasant memories on how it all began. It was a chilly, pleasant day, not kidding. The day where all the groups of six working on the STGP project were to relay our idea, or basically the goal of our project, to the instructors and get it confirmed so we could all move on and start working on the project. Well, the day turned out bad, starting off with having to hear everyone's ideas being rejected, and Brain didn't help us this time. Our idea was rejected too, yippee-doo. A week later, though, we tried again, having racked our brains for a worthy idea, and yes, we were good to go. My leader promised ice cream if our idea was to be accepted, you see, but he never held his promise. Oh, those good times. Yes, I was never the leader to begin with. Even though at the beginning of my speech, anyway, where was I? Oh, those were the days where I was able to be my careful little self being a normal team member. Remember how I said not one of my fellow members could think to save their lives? Yeah, so about that, their thinking capacity is so nil, by the following week, they had forgotten the whole module exists. So we had nothing to discuss on during the next feedback session. Yep, you thought that right, we were screwed. And eventually, weeks became months, and the group was scattered, literally. The leader was nowhere to be seen. So much for being someone who is supposed to know the way, go the way, and show the way, like how John Maxwell defined who a leader must be. Anyway, due to the lack of leadership, the whole team had failed. Because you see, every team needs a leader to set expectations and to keep the group focused upon its goals. A leader should be able to provide positive reinforcements to help keep everyone motivated and the team moral up. And we never had that. So yeah, our teamwork did kind of go down the drain. By the time 3 months had passed, we had zero communication between one another, especially with no leader holding us together. The group was almost non-existent. And so, our group of six became a group of four, with two people working day and night with zero sleep, and two others who were quite lazy but did their job. So yes, something better than nothing, eh? And then something happened. I thought, to heck with these people. And I took hold of the reins and spoke to each member and started to get the work done. It was a reckless and time-consuming move, but something had to be done, or the ones working on the project alone would have been driven to insanity. No fun there, you see. And then something worse happened. I know, 2020 and all, and I should not even be surprised even if it starts raining dead bodies. But one of my instructors asked me to lead. To communicate and work together on my own terms was no issue. But having that title forced upon me wasn't something I expected. Leadership isn't simple. It takes so much out of a person to be a leader. It needs your undivided attention. It needs you to be a good listener. It needs you to know how to speak, convey what needs to be said in such a way people would listen. You must understand the role in itself. You must take responsibility for not just yours, but every team member's actions. And you must learn to be calm and be current. Having all this in mind, I had a mental panic attack. Yes, I can speak and listen, understand the role of being a leader, take responsibility of everyone's actions, and give people my undivided attention. But like most of you all know, I have the attention span and the memory of a goldfish. Meaning, my attention won't last long, and I can't be updated on current activities to save my life. So yeah, there you go. Leadership 1, Sharika 0. Anywho, skipping to the rest of my sob story, I shall conclude with the fact that after having to lose almost, emphasis on almost, every shred of sanity, I was successful in getting work done by each and every member in the group. Oh, and let me tell you one of my secrets to my hard-earned success. Like Tina Fey once said, some people say, never let them see you cry. I say, if you're so mad, you could just cry. Then cry. It terrifies everyone. And trust me, it did work. To a certain extent, though. Still got the job done, didn't I? Anyway, to date, we still have issues. We still have a few members missing from the face of the earth, but I have decided to take up on the role and push away my fears. I have worse things to worry about, such as failing because of poor teamwork and having my backside beaten by mama dearest. So yes, I shall do anything that needs to be done to avoid the beating and look into the positive outcomes of being a leader, such as learning to live with integrity, learning to respect myself and the others both, Be polite. I did that. Recognizing opportunities to grow and change, to be a part of the community and embracing this part of life, considered a journey I had to take that in the end helps me become a better person. Well, that's that, and I shall hand it over to you, Miss Ross.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharika, for that very convincing speech. We all got a great idea about leadership, and that was truly inspiring. And that reminded me the greatest leadership, how Santa used to show us all the example. He was the greatest example of a great leader. He talked with me about how he wanted our little elves to be great leaders one day, and that is so sad. Never mind. So I'll move on to our next elf. It's a senior elf today, Toastmaster Dinuka. He'll be doing his path completion project.
He
Oh, Santa
won't
would
be
have been.
doing the path
He
completion.
is not. I told you.
Wait, what
That
is it?
elf was partially murdered, so he won't be attending today.
It's not some. Let me give you a hint, Mrs. Claus. It's not someone you like that much.
Don't worry, it's my idea. It's my idea.
Who's doing the speech?
Wow, oh no, it's his idea. That means it's a bad idea.
Who's
Well, you said I should, investigate all the killers, and you strongly suspect the Grinch, even though I still think you have possible motives.
Again, he's suspecting me. Why is this entire meeting about suspecting me?
So I figured the best way to put this to rest is to let the Grinch have a bit of a spotlight. Of course, I'll be keeping a close eye on it. Don't worry.
The Grinch is doing a speech. How could
Yes,
I
she
not-
wanted
He's doing a
to
speech?
inspire the other elves into unionizing, something like that.
I did.
I thought you did. No, well, anyway, go ahead.
I guess we won't be having any more.
You know what? Since you gave me the opportunity to do a speech, and I am so annoyed at the lot of you, I did. Fine. Now who's keeping an eye on me?
Time's up.
My assistant, where's the Kid Flash now? Kid Flash?
Yeah. Hold
good.
on, man.
Good. Keep an eye on her, and I'm just gonna go and eat this nice hamburger. So go ahead, Grinch. I'll introduce you now. So the Grinch, today you're doing your path completion project-ish, something called Reflect on Your Path. I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna go. So the purpose of your project is for the Grinch to reflect on their growth during the completion of the entire path. And the purpose of this speech is for the Grinch to share some aspect of their growth during the completion of the path. I feel like those two are kind of similar. Either way, where's the bunny girl senpai? Bunny.
Yep,
girl.
I'm here. I'm here.
Bunny, rabbit, Easter bunny, right. The time is 10 to 12 minutes. That means 10, 11, 12. Are you ready?
I am. Is the bunny ready?
Yes, the bunny who is not
The
the
white
Easter
rabbit.
bunny is ready. Yes.
Okay, good. The rabbit is ready. So then, the Grinch, I'll keep an eye on you, don't worry. Should I just call you Grinch, or would you prefer another name?
Grinch is fine. Just get on with it.
Okay, fine, Grinch. So much Grinchiness. Like, wow. So, the Grinch, everything is funny. Everything is funny. The Grinch. Over to you.
Now, when we say everything is funny, today the most funny thing I've seen is this clown pretending to be a detective, because that is the funniest thing I saw this entire year, which is saying a lot considering the mess this year was. But disregarding Santa's coffin lying over there, the Grinch has actually been doing a pathway called Engaging Humor in 2020, and it would have concluded very happily if Santa had been an idiot and died on Christmas Day, but we can't do anything about that. So speaking about my past, let's ignore Santa. Speaking about my past, now, I used to be a very bad Grinch. I used to annoy Santa all the time. I admit that. And The two of us were lifelong enemies. But this path has made me see that I can be funny without annoying Santa all the time. It was a very difficult journey, and Mrs. Claus is still in denial, but I think I learned something. Because during my path, what I learned was there are different types of humor, not just the humor I use to annoy Santa all the time. So I have figured out 4 different kinds of humor that doesn't annoy Santa. Number 1, humor at the Grinch's expense. Now, this was very difficult for me to learn, but I can always say that, no matter what happens, I know that I will always be late. Which is funny to everyone else. It's not funny to me. And if you, Bunny Rabbit, say anything about that, I will kill you. That doesn't mean I killed Santa. The second type of humor is humor at someone else's expense. Now that's very easy to show you because just look at those 2 clowns. They've been detecting all this time, but I just find it funny. I mean, do they even remember what they're detecting? Why are they talking about a Batmobile? These are very big questions, but I just laugh at it. The next kind of humor is something that some people don't understand or some people don't like. It's called a pun. Now, if you don't like puns, you're an idiot. And also, let it snow, man. Let it snow. The next type of humor is sarcasm. Now, to a very dense detective here, I will explain to you that sarcasm can take the form of idiot because clearly you don't know how it works. Or sarcasm can take the form of mocking disbelief, like, you're a detective? Really? Okay, no, that was an actual question. But it can take the form of, you got fired from your last job? I wonder why. Now that's called sarcasm. Please note that down. Now, life is not always a comedy. And almost every occasion, you might be struggling to think, how can I make this funny? But any occasion can be brightened up with a laugh. Even Santa's funeral. All we need is an idiot to walk in and say he's a detective. And then the entire situation becomes funnier. But let me tell you a few things I learned about making a situation funny. The first thing is, don't be afraid to make a joke. It might not work. I have made jokes to Santa many times. He didn't always laugh. At first, it crushed my Grinchy spirit. But I hated Christmas anyway, so I got over it very fast. The point is, I kept trying. And when you keep trying, you learn about the types of humor that people around you like. You learn that your jokes might not always be funny. And you learn that people sometimes are too stupid to get your sarcasm because idiot. However, humor is not something that works 100% of the time. It might not even work 50% of the time. But when it does work, humor can brighten up any occasion. And if it's with friends, humor can make you have a better day than you were. That's not the case with Santa because, well, he died. But there's always a bright and funny side to look at it. There's also Mrs. Claus, but I won't say much about Mrs. Claus. In terms of considering the Grinch, me, and humor, I don't think I wanted this path. I mean, Look at me. Do you think I need to be funny? No, I don't. But I think it was the path I needed. Of course, Santa also got killed, so I'm not sure how that worked out. But I just want to end my speech by saying, I didn't do it. Over to you, you clown detective.
Where's our detective?
What? I'm still compiling my report.
Okay, then
You can ask the Kid Flash for things for now if you want.
I'll take back the control then. But for the record, you can't escape from this. Just because you give some speech proving that you're innocent and you care about Santa, we will have our own inspections and our detective mission to find out who really killed Santa. Okay. And I guess that brings us to the end of our prepared speech session. Thank you, elves, and also the horrible green Grinch. Thank you for working through the year with no paid vacations and not forming a union and going on strikes. We really appreciate that. Well, we are halfway through the funeral and we still don't know who killed my beloved husband. No one can bring him back, no one would feel the pain I have right now. I still feel it's the Grinch, but whoever did this will have no mercy. What do we have next in the funeral session, by the way?
More mourning.
I think this is the part
you're
where
done
you...
crying? You're
I think
done
this is the
crying?
part
Oh my
where you...
god.
I'm still crying.
For the record, guys, I don't like people who doesn't like Christmas. It's quite disturbing, to be honest.
What? Why? I'm not disturbing. Okay, yes, I am, but I'm not that disturbing.
Sure.
But you masked murderer, you literally kill people for a living, man. I don't know why why aren't we investigating this person?
Because I'm not the imposter.
And for the record, I've noticed that the masked murderer is never on time. So that is not a good sign in my books.
What do you mean the
masked murderer?
I mean, I'm never on time. Thank you for noticing.
No. You know what? I agree with the rabbit because I've seen Santa and Grinch fighting, and Grinch literally saying, "If this gets too much, I'm literally going to kill you, Santa."
Shouldn't you be crying in like a high voice first of all? What happened? Did you get over your mood?
I have a wide spectrum of emotions.
First off, let's detective stop. Wait, hold on, not detective. Clown, stop telling people how they should cry just because you cry like a I can't deal with that. Doesn't mean the rest of us do. And secondly, it's Mr. Grinch, and we were arguing about who gets to have marshmallows in their hot chocolate. It's not something we would kill each other over. Duh. This has gone on long enough. The two detectives are useless. Mrs. Claus is a wreck and she can't stop crying. And everyone else are idiots also. So I'm going to find out Santa's killer myself.
Hey, wait, you can't do that. That's illegal. Someone shoot her or something.
That's also illegal, dumbass. Call your lawyer. And while you do that, I am going to conduct interviews. So, who's up for answering some questions?
Can I? Table topics, right?
No, these are questions. These are interrogative questions. I'll be paying attention too.
I'll do. 2 minutes. So, I'll do it.
Can I know your name, person?
Mike? Like, are you going with the made-up names?
Wow, look at this. The Grinch doesn't even know the names of the elves that he's trying to free.
How am I supposed to know the names of the elves? I'm not Santa. Okay, Mike, pick a number between 1 and 10.
All right, I'll pick two.
Pick two. Okay. Elf Mike.
Yeah.
If you were to kill Santa, how would you do it?
Yeah.
If you were to kill Santa, how would you do it? Elf Mike.
Okay. If I was to kill Santa, I would, put some poison in his cookie, or I would strangle him to death, or I would take him to a cliff and show him a jump off the cliff challenge and post it on Instagram, or I would take a sleigh. Good idea, and beat him up, or I would give him a lot of chocolates, like a lot of chocolates. I would also give him a hamburger. I would take him to every buffet. Or I would just, put him in a coffin and say he's dead, until he is actually dead. Over to you.
Okay, it's clearly not that Elf Mike.
May
He has no
I
creativity.
just interject? May I just interject? Grinch, you're cleared of all suspicions. My assistant was an idiot, so I fired him and I hired this new Wonder Girl. And also, Mike, whoever you are very suspicious. Would you mind coming with me to the police station? I have a lot of questions to ask and a beating to give you, because
You're not a policeman.
You're a
I'm a detective.
Oh my
I have friends.
Why
Look, he's
why did I
suspicious.
agree to
Okay,
this?
Grinch, you gotta admit, he's
I
very
have a
suspicious.
feeling now detective is the murderer.
Because I'm
Also,
paying you.
Mike clearly isn't the killer, because he was stuttering all through the speech. He didn't even know how to kill Santa. He is clearly not the killer. Okay, who's next for interrogation?
Yeah, I won't even.
Points all over the place.
Sorry, what?
That was me dramatically exiting while giving you the stage, but okay.
Olaf, I'll take you later. Is there anyone else? Oh, we have another person. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this elf's name. Abhigna?
Abhigna. Yes.
Right. Okay. Abhigna, please pick a number between 1 to 10, excluding 2.
5.
Please pick a number between 1 to 10 without 2. 5. Okay. Toastmaster Abhigna. Christmas isn't a season, it's a feeling. Christmas isn't a season, it's a feeling. Toastmaster Abhigna.
Good evening, everybody. Even after Christmas is over, yet we are all in that emotion of Christmas, aren't we? We still do not hesitate to keep those lights all over the place around us. We do not mind keeping that Christmas tree right in front of us and keep staring at it all day. And I do not mind still accepting any more gifts. You can give me whatever you want to. I can give you a whole list of bunch of items what is necessary for me. As the topic says, Christmas is just not a festival or a season. It's an emotion to all of us. It binds all the happiness, all the luxuries, all the desires which is there within us, and puts it out into various forms of decorations to light the whole house and give the whole street a new different vibe. And that's what is that emotion for me and for you. Even though I don't know a lot about Christmas, I love the concept of Secret Santa. And what I love the most is me when receiving a few gifts, which I have been waiting after my birthday. So there are only two events. One is your birthday, and one is your Secret Santa, where you can shamelessly ask for whatever you want to. And that's what makes me really happy about Christmas. Even though Santa Claus is just a fiction or a real one, I really don't know. Anyways, our Santa is dead already. But I would really like to see another Santa for another year. And next year, I would be waiting with even more joy and a huge bucket list. Are you guys ready to gift me again? Thank you.
I see. Thank you, Toastmaster Vigna, for that wonderful speech, although it didn't lead to many interrogation conclusions. Who wants to go next? No one?
Moise
Is
would
someone
like to.
scared to hide something?
Moise would like to.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Moise, pick a number. 1 to 10, excluding 2 and 5.
9.
9. Okay. F. Moise, what was the best thing that happened to you this Christmas? What was the best thing that happened to you this Christmas? F. Moise.
The best thing that happened to me this Christmas was me submitting my coursework on time. I mean, this wasn't a great year, but it's the little things that make it great. And that was really good. I mean, I submitted it on the 16th. So, I mean, Christmas is 10 days. Yeah, so that was, I think, the best thing. And I did work on another coursework during Christmas. So, yeah, it was quite good. I really like Christmas, keeping me busy, making sure I work. That's what Christmas is all about, occupying yourself. And I think that's, the real Christmas spirit. What else is it if it isn't occupying yourself and working hard, doing what you want? That's Christmas, and that's what I did, and that's one of and yeah, I guess I got a Christmas miracle by submitting my coursework early. That was great. Thank you.
Okay, clearly it wasn't Elf Moise because the most exciting thing that happened to him was coursework. Yes. What is wrong with these people? Okay, who's next? We have, Chetana.
Chetana.
Okay. Pick a number between 1 to 10, excluding 2, 5, and 9.
7.
7. Toastmaster Chetan. If you were to comfort Mrs. Claus right now, what would you say? Toastmaster Chetan, if you were to comfort Mrs. Claus right now, what would you say?
Okay, so Mrs. Claus. Okay, I'm not a fan of Santa. I'm a fan of Grinch, by the way. But then, since I have got the topic, okay, fine. I don't know actually how to comfort her because I really suspect her right now. Because like we got a complaint that they haven't paid the elves and all that, so probably she must have killed the Santa so that she can get rid of the debts and all, and she can live happily. So I don't think that she really. So I don't think that she really. So I don't think that she's really crying and like she's really upset about Mr. Santa gone. She's covering her face right now. I think she's laughing because she's so happy that because she's so happy that Santa is gone. So I don't think I really need to comfort her because like it's just the meeting, it's just the funeral ceremony that she's trying. After she goes back to the workshop, she'll be like putting party with the elves. But then if she's not the real suspect, well, nothing to do. Well, nothing to do. The thing is, sometimes we have to go undergo hardships. So, but Mrs. Claus can start giving presents from next Christmas and make the people happy, when the children happy, and it would bring pride to me, Santa. because she has been doing Santa stars even after Santa has left us all. So I would like comfort her with advice, saying her not to be sad, but to keep on doing the good work that Santa had done. But I really suspect her. Okay.
I see. Thank you, Toastmaster Chetana. Do we have anyone else willing to go through interrogation? Olaf, I will come back to you in a bit. No? Okay, in that case, I think Olaf, it's your lucky day. Pick your number. Is the snowman alive?
Hello?
Pick your number.
Let's see. How about 5?
5. Didn't we already go? We already went to 5.
Then we do 10.
10.
Yes, 10.
That sounds very final. Okay.
Yes, very final.
Snowman Olaf. If Santa was alive right now, what would you tell him? If Santa was alive right now, what would you tell him, Snowman Olaf?
Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you something about Santa. Santa was a great guy. But you know what he did, what he loved the most? He loved hugs. So if he was alive, I'd tell him the standard things, hey Santa, good luck out there with your Christmas present delivering. Good luck paying those elves their overtime. Good luck, good luck explaining to Mrs. Claus why you were late after delivering. All the standard things. But I would also tell him, give me a big old hug. And if he does do that, oh, that's gonna be fun because that's what killed him. Oh, I mean, that's what would kill him. Yes. What do you?
I see. This snowman is very weird. Okay, we have Elf Adib who wants to go next, and I think we can stop the interrogations after this one. Elf Adib, pick your number.
How does 3 look?
3 looks fine. Okay. Elf Adib.
Right.
What was the biggest difference in Christmas this year? What was the biggest difference in Christmas this year? Elf Adib. Please don't mention Santa dying. We already know that.
Right. So, I mean, the biggest Christmas this year, I think everyone knows and it's pretty obvious. It's the fact that we had COVID-19 this year. So, sadly, we couldn't celebrate Christmas, which is a season and a moment of joy in everyone's lives, regardless of where you're from, which religion you are in. It provides happiness to everyone. And we had to, I don't know, celebrate it in a, we had to downplay it a little and celebrate it in such a way which is kind of sad because I mean I'm sure towards the end of 2020 year, which is I mean an absolute train wreck of a disaster, we could all use a little joy and happiness in our life. But to be honest, maybe don't look at COVID as a bad thing. Think of it as a bit of a Christmas miracle. Look at it this way: we got a chance to reevaluate our life and see what we value most and really appreciate the things that we take for granted in our everyday life. Simple things such as literally meeting people physically, breathing without a mask, and just surviving. And physical contact. God, we miss physical contact. And that brings us to the end of time. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Elf Adib. That was a useless round of interrogations.
Well, what did you expect? You should have left detecting like this to the professionals, like the one, the only, the magnificent detective.
Detectives, I'm also here, just so you know.
Who are you again? Why are you here?
You literally hired me like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so there's another detective.
Yes, of course there's another detective because you can't do your job by yourself.
Okay, Wonder Girl,
He
what
is
do you have?
another detective as well.
No, you're just a weirdo. Go away. You're just a weirdo. Go away.
Yo,
Hi, you, not so much.
you're the joker, man. You're just a useless comedian who's just
That
making
means
a
my
show
life
saying you're a
makes
detective.
more sense than
Oh
you.
my god. Everyone stop bickering. You're bickering more than the Grinch and I'm bickering. Funeral manager, do something.
Yes, let's
I think she's
continue.
dead. I think she's dead. I think she got murdered too. She must be the
This
second
is
victim.
my funeral parlor.
He's
and
right there.
Oh, she's alive. She's alive. It's
This
alive.
proves that the detective,
Shut up.
so-called detective, does not can't even see, and he expects to detect. Can you? What do you use to detect? Sonar?
Yes. How did you know?
Anyway,
Are you like a spy
let
or
the
something?
funeral
Like a super
manager
spy?
speak.
Is Dinami hiding?
Let's get on with the proceedings. Rabbit, can you please give the timer's report?
Yes, sure. So for the prepared speeches, Elf Toastmaster Chantal, evaluated by the Grinch, took 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Toastmaster Kaushi took 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Toastmaster Sharika took 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Toastmaster The Grinch took 6 minutes and 5 seconds. And for the table topics, Toastmaster Mike took 1 minute and 15 seconds. Toastmaster Abhigna took 1 minute and 49 seconds. Toastmaster Muiz took 1 minute and 22 seconds. Toastmaster Chetana took 1 minute and 53 seconds. Toastmaster Haritha took 1 minute. Toastmaster Adib took 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Mass murder? If you haven't killed anyone yet, can we hear the R counters report?
Yes. So, Mrs. Klaus, you had 2 hours and no repetitive words. Our funeral manager had 2 hours and no repetitive words again. Then our rabbit had 2 arms and no repetitive words. Then me, the masked murderer, had 3 hours and no repetitive words. Then we have Rudolph, who had 2 hours and 3 arms and no repetitive words. Then we have the Grinch, had 3 repetitive words which were so, like, and but, and 2 filler words which were hours and arms. We have our detective, who had 4 hours, 2 arms, and no repetitive words. Then our assistant detective, there were 2 actually. First is Kumudita, who had 3 hours, and that was the only filler word. Then our latest assistant detective, Asiri, had 2 hours and 3 arms and no repetitive words. Then we have Olaf. You had no filler words and you had 2 filler words which were you and no. Then Elf Kauti, you had 2 hours, 3 arms and 3 repetitive words which were so and like. Then Elf Chaitanya, you had 3 hours and 2 repetitive words which were like and that. Then Elf Gibran, you had 3 filler words which were you used it a couple of times and no filler and no repetitive words. Then Elf Chantal, you had 2 repetitive words which were so and like, and you used twice. Then Elf Sharik, you had 1 filler word which was arm. You used it 3 times, and you had 1 repetitive word which was and. Then Elf Christina, you had 3 hours and no repetitive words. Elf Mike, you had 2 arms, 3 arms, and 2 repetitive words which were would and. Elf Abigna, if I said that correct. You had no filler words. You had only 1 filler word which was and. Then Elf Muiz, you had 4 hours and 3 repetitive words which were and, I, and like. Elf Adib, you had two repetitive words which were so and we and no filler words. Over to you.
Thank you. I hope you really did not kill anyone during this funeral. Now let's get with the supervisor's report as well as I find this Greenwich as well. Okay, Greenwich, you may give your report for our little elf Chantale's speech.
It's green. Thank you. Okay. Toastmasters Elf Chantal, you did your icebreaker today, and I have to say, usually the Grinch is very grumpy and doesn't like speeches, but I really liked your speech. I'll tell you why. You had a really good structure to your speech, especially the ending. I really like the ending. The Grinch likes ending. But you are also a very good storyteller. You made an introduction which didn't just give us, my name is so and so, I went to school here and I'm doing this now. No, you actually told us about yourself. And the tone was so nice and warm that it made even the Grinch feel happy. Don't tell anyone I said that. However, the Grinch does feel that you could improve a little bit on your eye contact. It's difficult on a virtual funeral, I know, but maybe you can try looking directly at the camera and not at the screen. You also need to work on your gestures because cameras are iffy things. Who even invented them? And sometimes you can't see your hands and general surroundings properly. But I also liked your humor. Like I said, the Grinch likes humor. And you had a lot of humor in your speech, which is always a good thing. Your vocal variety was also great, but you had a few words that were repeated, which I felt you could have improved a little on. To challenge yourself and make the Grinch even happier, you can maybe try a speech that is less storytelling and more about information, because you are doing really well at storytelling right now. Even the Grinch loves a good story. But I feel you can really try something else if you go for an informative speech. All in all, it was a really good speech. Thank you for completing your icebreaker and good luck on future projects.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Senior Elf, Toastmaster Christina, can I have your report?
Thank you, Funeral Director. I will be evaluating Toastmaster Kausit. Is he here? Okay, he is here. Hi, Kausit. Okay, so first of all, I want to say congratulations on your first speech. I tell everyone it's the most difficult one because it's the one where you have to convince yourself to speak in front of I don't know, friends, strangers, but I think this kind of environment had made it easy for you because this honestly felt so natural and you had such a good presence throughout your speech. I think you did exceptionally well. Let's get into like the things about your speech that I really liked. When you started off, you went into this little anecdote about how, you know, after you eat bitter gourd, everything you eat starts feeling bitter, which was a really interesting way to capture people's attention because even me, I thought, okay, where is he taking this? And you left everybody hanging, which was a really smart thing to do because now you have their attention. They are thinking, okay, what is he going to say? And you went into your story about when you were born and, you know, how you grew up. And you touched on all these things and somehow you made it relatable to everybody. Everyone relates to fighting with your siblings. You had that in your story. Everyone relates to struggling in school. You had that in your story about yourself. So you had an interesting way of like picking out things that are important in your life and bringing them into this one paragraph inside your speech. And you beautifully ended off by coming back to your original point about how opportunities will present themselves and how they cannot be missed. And it made a lot of sense when you came to the ending. So really well done.
things I really liked about your speech and the way you gave your speech were your hand gestures. I could only see this much of you, but I saw so much of your hands moving. I could tell, and they were all really intentional. It felt like, okay, you thought about this, which was really good and something you don't see in beginner level speakers. You did that extremely well. Your clarity was really good. I think everybody here understood you really well throughout the speech. Another thing I really liked is something, the way you had structured your speech is something really high level speakers do. So that it felt like you had put in a lot of effort, and I think you did that extremely well. So congratulations. Moving on to one thing you can work on for upcoming speeches, I would say try and put less into your speech. I felt that as the timing cards were coming up, you started rushing a little bit, and I could feel your nervous energy, and it took me away from the important things that you were saying in the ending. So when you're planning a speech, put less in there. That way you have more time to elaborate, make funny jokes and anecdotes, and really stress on the ending, so you leave everyone feeling shocked and in awe. So that's a really like something that you can take note of next time. Being less prepared can help you. So keep less material in your speech and focus more on the delivery. That will really help you. Other than that, I think you did a really good job on your very first speech. To challenge yourself, try and set up a stage where you are. If there's a little bit of room, like all you need is like 4 feet of space across and wide. So for your next speech, try and do a speech standing up, because I can tell that you're moving your arms and that's all you have to express yourself. If you use your whole body, it's going to take your speeches to the next level. So that's my challenge for you for your next speech. With that, congratulations. I cannot wait to see more speeches from you. Back to you, funeral director.
Thank you, senior elf. Next is not so senior but somewhat senior Toastmaster Kipran elf.
Okay, thank you very much, Funeral Director. So I will be evaluating Toastmaster Sharika. I hope you're there. Are you there?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to say amazing speech. You first started off with the definition of leadership. Now, normally when people were to talk about, heavy topics like leadership, it will be long, monotonous, but I really loved the fact you incorporated it with a personal story of yours, which is also relatable to the entire audience. SDGP. I mean, some of the audience have already gone through it. Some of us are still in it, and some may also relate to the fact it's a group project. From there, you came up with a story. You started off the story. You said like everyone was chill and all until you finally pitched in and got rejected. Then, nevertheless, you again went and pitched again and got accepted. And then finally, you came up to the fact that once everything started working, your leader started, not contributing much, and you created that kind of tense and drama, that sense of thinking, what's on earth happening? You said there were 3 months of no communication, and oh my God, I was thinking, what was happening? But I like the fact that you had a natural flow over the speech. You made it so engaging to the point where everyone was wanting to know, and that ending was absolutely great. You gave us the ending which you were talking about in the first topic itself, leadership, in which where you thought you don't want things to go down this way. You ended up taking that by yourself and taking leadership and taking control over it. So other than that, from there, I noticed clarity-wise, you were clear enough. I can tell you the audience also would have clearly heard what you were directing to everyone, and your vocal variety was also great. The tone was good. Over time, when you do more projects, you'll improve. And eye contact-wise, it was fine. You were looking straight towards the camera. If I were to tell you to improve on some factors, which would be your gestures, I know we are in an environment where they're talking through a camera and all, but if you try to express your movements through your hands and all, it would contribute more into your project. But over time, when you practice, you'll get the hang of it. And in terms of interest, it was 100% really great. Like myself, I was interested over the story, and you properly ended it. And from there, I wish you all the best for all your future projects. Over to you,
Thank
Fiona.
you.
Thank you. Then we got another two little elves, Jay and Asiri. Jay will do the odds of the table topics, and Asiri will be doing the events of the table topic. So
I have a bit of an objection for that, funeral director. I have finished compiling my report on the Grinch, and I would like to present it for everyone.
that will come later. You may hold your pose.
What? Why?
Actually, I'd like to hear this report.
Okay, then table topic. You will have
Suck
to
it,
stay
suck
for a
it,
bit.
funeral director, suck it.
Yes, it's the annoying detective need to
Keep
show off
this
his
PG, thank
annoyingness.
you.
All right. Someone screamed really loud in my ear, whoever it is. What the shit?
I am so sorry.
Okay.
You bust out
No,
my ear.
it's fine. He deserved it. He deserved it.
Settle down, guys. Settle
Okay.
down.
I am
Enough with the
so
fun.
sorry.
Enough with the fun.
This damn Santa's dead.
Anyway,
Still,
tell me this report.
Well,
I just
Mrs. Claus, are you also here? This is the report that you wanted from me. Where's the widow? Oh, good. The black widow is here. Okay. All right. The Grinch. It's funny you call it everything is funny because everything is not very funny. Starting right off the bat, you made fun of my Batmobile. It's a bat. It's a mobile called a bat. What's so funny about it? It's called the Batmobile. Just let it go. Now then, it wasn't funny. Anyway, starting off, my overall comments. Firstly, I think you excelled at going with the theme because you're a natural when it comes to crowd control, as I like to call it. And you spectacularly trashed me in your speech. And that just goes to show how well you are at using other characters to benefit your speech. I just wish you would use Miss Claus a bit too, because it would help your case. Because just trashing me, no one's really going to care about that. I mean, come on. Who cares about me, right? That's what you were pointing out.
Who cares about Mrs. Claus? All she does is cry.
Yeah, but she has more pull here. She's kind of the one who hired me, so I kind of have to give her points there. But I feel like I feel like in your ranting, in that speech you gave, you were a bit in need of organizing because you started off your intro and it was all good, but your intro kind of morphed into your beginning. I didn't really see a separation, in my opinion. And the same could be said for your ending because you seem to wander around with your thoughts, gathering it all up, and then you made your declarations. And because of that, I saw that your eyes seemed to go a bit above the camera a few times, like you were looking up thinking, should I say this? Should I say that? Should I trash this poor detective who had a really rough ear? You really should not have. And your makeup, should I call it makeup? I'm not sure. I don't want to. Oh, wait. You know what? I'll offend you all I want. Your makeup, which doesn't make you pretty at all, made it really hard to judge your expressions. It's your skin color?
It's not makeup.
It's your skin? Oh my God, what happened to you? Did you fall into some kind of chemical?
I'm called the Grinch. Your mom to talk. You look like you came from the 1700s.
I did. I'm the doctor. Just the doctor. Anyhow, in your case, at least in my case, I can shave my mustache and take off my glasses. In your case, well, there's no cure for that. So to challenge yourself, you talk, now this relates just to the speech topic at hand, because your purpose was to reflect on your growth, like what you learned during the course of learning about the path of humor and all that. You talked about the types of humor-inducing methods that you learned, like saying puns and sarcasm. And by the way, I do get sarcasm. It's just your sarcasm sucks, and I have no retort to that. But I think it will have more impact if you talked about how someone would go about salvaging a wreck of a speech that was supposed to have humor, like bad jokes gone funny, like your face. Now, you said it yourself that most people might not find most of the jokes you do funny in your speech, but go ahead, try it, and all that. I am not entirely sure exactly which words you said. It was something along that. Now, if you take that point into account, it makes what I just said even better, because people who do humor speeches, they're more than likely to run into a wreck fest at the very beginning. And I think it would have been more impactful for them if you talked about how you managed to avoid that kind of thing. Your experience on it. And that's what I really think you should have talked about in this speech. But what you talked about was completely fine as well. And overall, good speech. However, you were given a gracious amount of time, 10 to 12 minutes. If I'm not wrong, according to the rabbit from Wonderland, is it? Yes, Wonderland. You ended your speech around 6 minutes something, if I'm not wrong. So that just goes to show that you could have added more points in. You could have like dragged it out. You could have completely brought in Mrs. Claus because of that. You could have had a bit of a banter with her where you trash her for always blaming you instead of going after me, poor old me. You had time. You didn't seem to make use of it. So in my opinion, you gave a good speech. But if you feel like you could do better, then by all means, I think you should do the speech. If you feel like you can do better than what you did today. Other than that, good speech. And that concludes my report. So all in all, to summarize everything, you are not guilty of killing Santa Claus. Sorry, Mrs. Claus, you were wrong.
Did you say I'm now guilty or not guilty?
You're not guilty. I said not guilty.
Oh,
Well, if it's
you
not
are.
her, if it's not her, then
Okay, let us have the conclusion towards the end. I need more reports coming in. I'm so sorry, miss.
okay, and I'm an artist.
Fine.
We'll have it under control, miss. We'll let you know who killed this. So let's moving on. We have to our little elf, CDL, sorry, Jay, with the odd numbers of table topic.
Finally, this damn Santa is dead, and I'm still working even after he's dead. Let's get on with it. Well, first, elf Mike. Mike, where are you?
Okay, Jay.
Okay. Well, let's start off. If you were to kill Santa, how would you do it? Come on, man. You're an elf. You build toys, all sorts of toys for kids, and you can't come up with a creative way to kill Santa. That damn man and his wife doesn't even pay us.
Ooh.
And still you couldn't come up with something creative. But I should admit, it was interesting. The methods you came up with were quite bizarre. And you could have brought in a bit of vocal variation to show the enthusiasm that we elves share to kill these menace people who are putting us to slavery. However, please do switch on your camera when you speak. We would like to see your face for goodness sake. At least that we owe to the dead Santa. May God give us a better Santa than the one who was slavering us.
Did you just
Fine.
say that?
Let's move on. Yes, I did. You should pay my check also, Mrs. Claus. My check and give the check.
We'll hold you. We'll listen to the rest of the report.
Let's get to Moise. Yes, Moise, what was the best thing that happened to you this Christmas? This is Christmas, elf. Come on. The only thing we have to work for. Why aren't you enthusiastic about it? Well, it was interesting to know that Christmas is 10 days Well, I didn't know that in elves, in like the textbook of elves, that they named that Christmas goes on for 10 days. Yes, we work for 10 days. We go around the world delivering gifts for all 10 days. People don't care about that. They go on blabbering about Santa. That guy is just like going to one chimney while we like go to every single chimney and like deliver all these gifts. But still. And well, you should be more confident, man, when you say what happened to you. You seem confused. Did Mrs. Claus blackmail you? Speak to us, man. And last but not least, my other colleague will continue after this. Harita, Olaf, you're supposed to be more enthusiastic when you speak about what the days you were happy. I know this is a this is a funeral, but you could speak about your kinks and your cringes, you know. Just show some enthusiasm. Bring out that vocal variation that you have normally. You're Olaf. You're the snowman. Christmas was just a few days back. You're supposed to be still happy. The snow hasn't even thawed away. So now that I've already shared my grievances, Miss Claus, make sure you pay my debts in for my check. If not, I shall sue you too. See you.
I see that Mrs. Claus that you have not paid else well that
We were about to
Siri is our assistant detective. So yeah, I guess you'll be losing your workers one by one after this funeral. You better start paying them. For now, we'll go to our assistant detective's findings on this funeral.
Yes, thank you, funeral manager. So I only got the assistant detective job a few minutes before the table topic session, but I take my job very seriously, unlike my senior. So I have a whole lot of notes on what I thought of our suspects who were interrogated by none other than the Grinch. First up, we have the elf Abigna, and who talked about Christmas, how Christmas isn't a season, it's a feeling. Now, Toastmaster Abigna, I had to say that was one of the strongest starts I have seen, I've heard as a Toastmaster. It was amazingly clear, and you kind of kept up that momentum throughout the speech, which was amazing. What I think though is while your beginning was very strong, your ending might was a bit would need a little more work. You ended with a question, which is obviously a good way to leave the audience. I would say it will, give them something to think about. But I feel like that's somewhere you could work on. I would also have loved to see your facial expressions and gestures, because I felt you were, I felt it through your voice, but I couldn't see. Finally, I would have to say that your use of language and your vocal variety were like out of this world. It painted such a beautiful picture, and you actually made us feel like Christmas wasn't just a season, it's a feeling. Moving on to the next elf is Chaitanya. So you talk about if you were to comfort Mrs. Claus right now, what would you say? I would first of all love to say how you incorporated the whole thing today. Like you were doing, it was very impromptu and it was very impressive, I would say, because you were giving real time reactions to what was going on, like how you were like, look at Mrs. Claus, she's covering her face. I don't think she's crying. I think she's laughing, like that. I really like that. It was really funny, and you even went against the topic, which is not something a lot of people do, but you did it in a really good way. Well, what I would say you might want to work on is maybe add a little more vocal variety to, take your speeches to the next level. Finally, we have the elf Adi. Your topic was what was the biggest difference in Christmas this year. So first of all, you had a very solid speech from the beginning to the end, I would say. I could say that you're not the kind of speaker who, struggles with an impromptu topic. It was very smooth. And you started off saying about how Christmas wasn't the same because of COVID, but then you turned it all around and you said that It gave us a chance to evaluate our choices, our life choices, and appreciate little things in life, which was a complete like 180, and it was a really good message. I really like that. And to improve, I would say the one thing I found missing in your speech was a personal touch. It would be better if you talked about everything generally, but if you added a little bit about what made Christmas different specifically for you this year, it would have been better. Now, that is all for my report. I don't think any of these elves are guilty of the murder of Santa, but I will tell you, since I will find whoever killed Santa, and I will end you, because I take my job seriously. Back to you.
Thank you, little elf. Now the detective. I'm sorry, but yes, you'll be the elf detective, the first to be hired. Well, I'd like to get Rudolph. I want your report, please, to conclude this.
First off, I would like to say that it's very shocking that I was accused because I was basically Santa's groupie, and I find that very offensive. And secondly, the word of the day today was exuberant, and I'm very happy to note that there were no notable grammatical mistakes. Yeah, back to you.
Amazing. So, well, I'll give you my findings based on these evaluations. We did start a bit late, the funeral proceedings, around 2 to 3 minutes late, but it's better than before, I believe. Next time, let's try to keep this funeral on time so that people can actually leave on time now that we are even 1 minute late. And these findings will keep on going and you'll get a bit delay. So next time we should work on the timing of the meeting. And I would say the flow of this funeral proceedings were quite extraordinary. This is the first time I'm hosting a funeral in this sort of, and it's really entertaining, I would say, though it's a sad day. But we have this stupid head detective. I have no clue why he is the head detective. He starts jumping off here and there, which may confuse the rest of the participants, and accusing the Grinch all the time. He really should stick to the script because that may help in managing the time. There's a purpose of a script, I believe. Apart from that, well done, a very awesome meeting to end this year 2020. I think that's all for today, but yes, I find something really off about Olaf's speech. Did he say like something like killing the Santa?
Oh my god.
He did?
Yes, he did. It
Of course he did.
It's Olaf.
Oh no.
Snowman, start talking.
I remember he said, oh my god.
That
He
was
said
my
something
next
about-
suspect, just so as you know. Just so as everyone knows.
No, he wasn't. He was never your
He was
suspect.
never
You
your
didn't
suspect.
mention him.
I'm paying you. Keep your mouth
Yeah,
shut.
I mean, you're a horrible detective, but Olaf, start talking.
Yeah, now that we found you, you can't just hide away behind your camera.
Why would
Elsa's not gonna save you here.
Why murder my beloved husband?
You're muted,
Oh,
Olaf.
no.
If you're going to talk, please, now would be the time.
Olaf, you're not helping yourself.
Okay, we have a bad man.
Took you long enough.
Who are you?
Not like
Oh
Olaf.
my god.
Where was I?
Ah.
COVID!
But
Trying
you're a
so hard.
You're a snowman.
Shush.
What?
I'm talking. I could kill you whenever I feel like it. You think that after I take this entire year off to make this year the worst year of all time, I'm just gonna let some big fat oaf go ahead and like make it better? Fat chance. Just over this snowman. Too trusting. Got away with it.
Wait, how did you kill
Let's go.
Santa?
I'm confused.
Just give him a hug. That
Oh
old
my god.
poser. That
Oh
old poser
God.
took a hug from anyone.
Sis,
You know,
Olaf,
but money back.
you know what? No, we can still save Olaf. Everyone. You all have
You sure
sanitized
about
on,
that?
right?
Come
We're in the
back
middle of
from
a pandemic. Everyone has sanitizer. Let's
Sanitizer, right.
sanitize
Oh no.
COVID out of Olaf.
Put that down.
Sanitizer.
Put that down.
Okay, I have
I
sanitizer.
think something so little as a sanitizer could save us all.
That's all the
Does it
sanitizer.
work?
Oh,
What
he's
the
back to
hell?
normal. Is he?
What happened to what?
Olaf, are you okay?
Hi, it's me. I'm Mona.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry. I killed Santa.
Surprisingly, he lived.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kill him. But if there's anything like I could make it up with, I could help with the delivery. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, your fault, Olaf.
I have to tell you guys, this is the weirdest Christmas funeral I've ever been to.
This is the weirdest funeral I've been to.
I thought this was a Christmas thing. Well,
It's
anyway,
a
no one cares
funeral.
about. Well, no one cares about this. Now that my work here is done, can I get my presents now? It's the only reason I stayed here so long. Mrs.
Well,
Claus, I'd like my payment now.
Wait, hold
Get
on.
lost, detective. You did nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. You did
That
nothing.
is true.
I told you I did something.
It
We
was
are supposed to be. We elves are supposed to be paid. We are long due of payment. Gibran,
Alright, we
join me.
talk
Yeah.
about this. I'll have
Like,
a
look,
meeting for you.
the power is out at my place. I could afford my bills. Thanks to.
Okay.
So this
Calm
is a
down,
summer
everybody.
internship, man. It's free.
I'll bring a solution for this. I promise I will. After this funeral, and I
Aha!
will spend.
You better or I'm suing.
I just got a call. Apparently, the presents are in the South Pole.
What? Well, this sounds like
Let's rent the
a
place.
mystery that can only be solved by the one, the only. The running out of words to describe detective. Where is my assistant? Wonder Guy.
Great.
Where are
Do I
you?
have to come for this?
To the Batmobile. Let's go.
We don't have a Batmobile. You're not Batman.
Yes, please.
I have one.
Bye-bye.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, I totally lied about the South Pole, but I was done dealing with those two idiots. So let's move on and end the funeral.
Yes, I need to get this place cleaned up for another coronavirus funeral.
Your cowboy.
And this will actually tell you about taking care of your health. Keep a sanitizer. Do not hug, even if it's all off. See what happened to Santa. Take that as a reminder. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Actually, before everyone leaves, there's one more thing. Like there's
Oh,
a
you
car
came
parked
back.
outside that's blocking my car. If someone could take it, it's a red Prius. Someone could
You
take that out. Secondly, you all have corona now. You're all quarantined. No one's going anywhere. We're staying here for 14 minutes.
But you just went out.
Yeah,
just went
I
to
just got
parking
the
lot.
call. Yeah, I just got the call. I just killed someone outside.
Well, now that we're stuck here, why don't we take a group photo? Because we're not going anywhere anyway.
For the memories.
For the
Yes, let me get my makeup on.
annoyance.
I don't think I'm clear.
I need to look beautiful. Let me get my makeup on.
You look fine, Gibran.
Okay, wait, I on my flash.
Someone just take the photo.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah, I look nothing like a rabbit, but yeah.
This is I'm your father.
No, you're not Darth Vader. Suck it.
Everyone, my God.
And you don't have a illustrious mustache like me. You can't even compare.
This all you look like.
Okay, photos taken.
Just take
guys,
the photo.
Okay, I took the photos. Cheers. Guys, before we go, a few announcements. Thank you everyone for coming and making this an awesome Christmas meeting. And it's the last meeting for 2020. Our next meeting will be in the 2021. It's basically a new decade, so that's exciting. Yeah, thank you.
Here we go again.
Toastmaster Abhigna for coming. I actually had no idea you were coming, but thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our meeting, and we hope you come again later. And thank you for all the guests as well. I know we had a kind of a chaotic meeting today, but that was because we were having fun because it's Christmas.
We hope we didn't traumatize you too much.
Yes, this is not normal.
I think
This is
David
not
is doing that
normal
right
at
now.
all.
Yeah, hi guys.
Oh God,
I'm so
never mind.
traumatized
That's
by
normal.
Danuja and the Grinch.
Danuja is normal. Danuja is just being himself, everything. And
I mean, this is better than
What the hell, Danuja? Anyway, moving on.
Yes, last few things. Yeah. We have oh God, Kelsey just left. I was gonna acknowledge Kelsey and Chantal also left. Oh no, they did the icebreaker, and that is a milestone speech. So even though they're not here, let's give them a round of applause. Usually animation, someone tell them we did that, and then we have the host, Parmi, aka the Grinch. She literally finished the part. Congratulations for finishing the Engage in Humor part. Oh my God, that's just congratulations. Okay, Kalshi is back. We gave you, congratulations, Kalshi, on doing your icebreaker. You and Shraddha both. And yeah, finally, one last amazing thing is that our club is officially now President's Distinguished because we got 9 DCP points. So yeah, and that's all because of y'all for doing your speeches. And you know, it's just amazing. So everyone, just let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you so much. We did this in 6 months, so we have 6 months left. So we have a lot of time to do a lot more speeches.
Just want to say, this is like some kind of record. Like, is this the fastest?
I think so.
Might be.
Probably.
I know we're the first in the division, but there have been other clubs. I think KDU already has like 10 points.
Well, we're the first in the division. That's good enough in my book.
Yeah, amazing job, everyone. It's all because of y'all. Thank you so much.
Of course, it's all because of me. Yes. Everyone
I
clap
said
for me.
y'all. So you did that.
I'm included in that.
What?
Sure. Yeah, and that's about it. Oh, Chantal is also back. Chantal, you weren't here, but we all gave you your round of applause for doing your icebreaker. It's a milestone speech. So yeah, yay! That's it. Things over. I forgot. Yeah.
Now Miss Claus can go find a new.
We still need to go to KDU.
Well, I'm available.
Oh God.
Yes, so
I love how we always get.
how many points behind are we to KDU?
What?
How many points are we behind KDU?
1.
And how do we get that point?
Oh, we just have to get a couple of more members. That's it, and we'll get that soon enough.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Take that, KDU.
Guys, I mean, I'm the last person to say this, but Santa's still dead, and we should let Mrs. Claus breathe in peace and go off.
You know, I love how we
Mrs. Claus isn't even worried. She's like totally happy.
I love how we always
I'm not even being properly happy because you lot are annoying me. Go away.
I thought it was just me, but it's everyone. Okay.
When we remind her only, she actually gets sad just for a brief moment. She's laughing.
Who, me?
It's almost as if someone
can't cry without a handkerchief.
Tears of joy.
I love how we always give Shelby, like, I don't know, we always put on the spotlight for great God. She has Zeus and she had to deal with a cheating husband. And now she has Santa who's. And no one will believe it.
The question is,
Anyway, it's getting late. Let's wrap this up and let her cry by herself.
Yes, I need some time of my own.
We should sign up on Tinder.
Yes, please. Let's go off.
I'm also a grief counselor if you're available, if you want.
No, thanks. I
see. Okay. I'll just go grieve by myself then.
Don't hit on a widow.
Why not? It's a perfect time. No one's available. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, Danuja.
I'm loving this, dude. Holy crap.
That's
I need to send the class.
That is very disturbing.
Sorry.
It's an actual mask at this point.
That's more disturbing than the mask and your normal face also.
I know.
Is that what an elf is supposed to do? Is that what an elf is
Okay,
supposed to look like?
boys,
Because I can
I'll go.
understand no
Go.
rights union stuff now.
Okay. So the recording about the recording.
Yeah, just stop it.
It's gonna go to
will-
Ahmad's drive.
No, it will
according
be
to the thing.